Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is officially the first video that I'm putting effort into, so we'll see where it goes and we'll see how long I will keep this up. I watch a lot of video essays and commentary on YouTube, so I thought, let's dip my toe into that freezing cold water, shall we? One of my favorite shows growing up was Full House. I love that show. And one of my favorite movies is The Parent Trap. And I came across a 1995 movie featuring the Olsen twins called It Takes Two, which has a similar-ish plot to The Parent Trap, which is kind of funny, kind of weird, kind of crazy. Here is the IMDb description for The Parent Trap. Identical twins Annie and Hallie, separated at birth and each raised by one of their biological parents, discover each other for the first time at summer camp and make a plan to bring their wayward parents back together. Cute. So let's go to It Takes Two's description. Sad little rich girl Alyssa and orphan tomboy Amanda meet at summer camp and discover that they are each other's exact doubles, and each girl is worried about her caregiver. Alyssa's father, Roger, is about to marry a gold digger, and Amanda's kind social worker, Diane, will be pushed aside if a cruel family adopts Amanda. The girls decide to switch identities to make their loved ones fall in love with each other. There's really no reason for me to explain the movie because that was a perfect description, unlike IMDb's description, which says, Alyssa and Amanda are two little girls who are identical but complete strangers that accidentally meet one day.
Huh.
A bit more than that happened, I think. So, let's get into it. The film opens with exposition, as always, and this film has quite a bit. Amanda and her little orphan friends are playing baseball in the middle of the street. Literally in the middle of the street. Where are the adults? And then we cut to Alyssa, who is getting off of a private airplane. Whoa. She is playing a classical piece on the piano. She's in this fancy church. She's rich, okay? She doesn't live like orphan Amanda. They really try to make the juxtaposition of both girls' lives stand out. And honestly, it's not good. They didn't do well, okay? In a video I watched a while ago by Drew Gooden about the Olsen twins, I believe he explained how the girls were always typecasted. So Mary-Kate is typically the tomboy and Ashley is typically the girly girl. And then I looked it up and apparently Mary-Kate gets all the funnier parts in Full House, while Ashley took care of the more sad and emotional parts of the show. And I think that tracks because Mary-Kate was really funny in this movie and Ashley was there. But back to the plot. Diane, played by Kirstie Alley, who is Amanda's social worker and interim mother figure, and you can pretty much tell that she's going to be Amanda's mother by the end. So Diane has just told Amanda that there's this family that wants to adopt her. So we have Fanny and we have Harry Butkus, and Diane is dragging Amanda to an interview with the Butkus. So Diane is dragging Amanda to an interview with the Butkusses so that they can adopt her, and Amanda is not feeling it, which I understand, because they pull up to the Butkusses' house, and I kid you not, the creepiest looking characters I've ever seen open that door, and Diane goes, "Don't worry, they like kids." Wait a second. Amanda wants Diane to adopt her because she's basically her mother, but obviously the adoption agencies aren't going to let that fly because Diane is a single woman who can't take care of a child on her own. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? How can a woman do that? Y'all are crazy. We're not giving you this child. We'll give her to the parents that have 7 children. Oh. What? So Diane explains that she can't adopt Amanda because she is single, to which Amanda responds, "Get a husband." I know that's right, Mary-Kate. And I just have to say, the accent that they have Mary-Kate doing in this movie.
Let me smash this ball downtown!
Whose idea was that? We definitely could have went without it. I don't know why we're doing this. Diane takes Amanda back to her orphanage and they get ready to go to their annual summer camp. Summer camp for orphans! Orphan summer camp! This camp, which was created by Alyssa's mother, Alyssa's the other girl. This camp was created by Alyssa's mother before she passed away because she loved kids and she was a teacher and she just wanted to help people out. So the camp is in the same place as Alyssa's home, right? Alyssa's castle. right? So let's switch over to Alyssa, who's an optimistic, rich heir daughter, with a neglectful and honestly a dumbass father, if we're being honest. And she lives in a legit castle with a butler named Vincenzo, who I will now forth be calling Vinny, because that is my boy. Thank you, Vinny. So Vinny tells Alyssa that her dad couldn't be there because he's preparing for a big party. And as a 9-year-old little girl who is just returning home, you're going to assume that the party is for you. It is not. And they took far too long to tell her that. So they make it home, and then we get to meet her dad, Roger. I have a strong disdain for Roger, okay? I don't like Roger. Roger sucks. And his gold-digging fiance, Clarice. The party is an engagement party for Roger and Clarice. Engagement party, and they're getting married in a month? Something smells fishy. And knowing what I know from The Parent Trap, the evil fiance to Nick Parker in The Parent Trap, you can hate Meredith Blake, but she looked good. Her body tea, she get money, like, I can't say anything bad about her. So let me just say that Roger doesn't hold a flame to Nick Parker. Like, he can't even find the candle. Clarice is 10 times worse than Meredith Blake. Roger reveals that he is engaged and that Clarice is his fiance. And he tells Alyssa, well, sweetie, you're getting older now and you're gonna need a mother figure. She's 9 years old, and a mother figure that she's never met? This person that's like 15 years older than her. That ain't her mama, that's her big sister, okay? And everyone is watching Roger have this conversation with Alyssa, and then Alyssa throws a temper tantrum to where Clarice is like, you know what, Roger, we can't endorse this behavior. We can't give her what she wants every time she throws a temper tantrum. Who are you? My boy Vinny over here is like, what the fuck? Making the face at Roger and to Clarice, which I totally understand. Like, that's why Vinny and I are like this, for real. Honestly, I want Alyssa to go live with Vinny by themselves and put Roger and Clarice in therapy. That's what I want. Honestly, I hate Roger. Roger sucks. Amanda's hanging out with some friends and they see the castle, so they all dare her to go knock on the door, to which Amanda's like, psh, no problem, I got this. She goes to knock on the door, and understandably they mistake her for Alyssa because Alyssa has just ran away after finding out the news. So Vinny opens the door and he sees Amanda, who he thinks is Alyssa, and brings her inside, and he's like, go upstairs and get changed. And then Alyssa's in the woods and Diane finds Alyssa and she's like, Amanda, I've been looking for you. So once both girls are a little bit confused, they start to run away, and then they run into each other and they collide in the woods, and they're like, whoa, this is freaky. You look like me, I look like you. It's a real Princess and the Pauper type moment, and then they switch places. Now Amanda is in Alyssa's place in the castle, and Alyssa is in Amanda's place at orphan camp. And Clarice, evil step witch, goes into town so that she can prepare for the wedding, get her hair done, get some shoes, maybe a dress, you know, things are really last minute. So on the way out, Amanda, acting as Alyssa, hugs Clarice, like, bye, a safe trip. Boom, gum in her hair. Gotcha. A montage of each child in their respective situations to I Feel Good by James Brown. That's fun. That's indicative of what we're feeling, right? Roger and Amanda, and then Diane and Alyssa are riding horses, separately I might add. And the girls make Diane's horse go haywire and start galloping into the sunset while she's screaming. Roger's like, oh no, I need to help her. So he goes to help her. He follows her horse, and really he just slows her horse down. Nothing crazy, so cool, I guess. He invites Diane back to his house for a quick little chat, for a bit of banter, for a cup of tea. So while they're at Roger's house, he gets a little phone call from Clarice, and she's like, that little skank put gum in my hair. She didn't say that, but I know that's what she was feeling. Clarice can hear Diane speaking in the background, and she's like, oh my gosh, is that a woman you're with? Are you cheating on me? And Roger's like, well, she's sort of a woman. Well, Roger, you're sort of a little bitch, honestly. And after hearing this, sort of a woman, Diane ups and leaves, as she should. Honestly, I think she should start running. Diane, sprint! So the next day, Roger shows up to camp to apologize for that little miscommunicado that they had. He finds Diane and she invites him to the mess hall, which is basically the dining hall, and it's her kids' turn to serve the food. Now remember, Alyssa is in this group, right? Diane's like, can someone find Alyssa, blah, blah, blah. They bring her back out and she has something covering her face. I would just like to say that Roger has not noticed that Amanda is not Alyssa. So there's no way that he's going to realize, wait, you're Alyssa. Diane and Roger never saw both of them at the same time. So I guess if he saw Alyssa knowing that Amanda's at home, he would be like, that's interesting. You look like my child. Now remember, this place is called the mess hall. What do you think is going to happen in the mess dining hall? 3, 2, 1. Food fight. You were right. There's a food fight. And I hate food fights because every time I see a food fight or any scene like this in the movies, I think to myself, wait, who is responsible for cleaning that up? Who is going to scrub the food out of the cracks in this wooden table? You know? I haven't thought about that much until right now, but I really would have hated that. Thank God I was never involved in a food fight. So yeah, Roger and Diane are hanging out. They're dipping in and out of the lake. They're throwing food at the children. Shit like that. I just would like to say, I'll give Roger some credit here. He's good at flirting and he's ass at fatherhood. We've gotta fix that, brother. We gotta fix that. Okay, I'm gonna rapid fire this part because a lot happens and this is pretty much the conflict and the resolution, right? Clarice is back with a fucked up hairstyle. Thank you, Amanda. And a determination to get married. She's moved the wedding up to tomorrow. Meanwhile, Roger and Diane are eye-fucking each other in the lake and he's forgotten all about Clarice, conveniently. The weird freak couple, Fanny and Harry Butkus, show up at the camp to take Amanda, who is technically Alyssa at the time, and adopt her and rename her Betty Butkus. Gross. Amanda finds out that Alyssa has been adopted and is now Butkus, so she reveals herself to Vinny, and then Vinny goes to Diane and tells her, look, you gotta get my girl back, okay? And Diane is like, that's Amanda. And Vinny's like, nah, sis, look at this. He shows her 2 pictures of the girls side by side and he's like, look, they're identical strangers. Crazy. So Diane goes to go rescue Alyssa and she takes a private helicopter, property of Alyssa's family. Thank you. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, Vinny. Fuck you, Roger. So Diane arrives at the Butkus' job residence. I really don't know and it doesn't matter. And she tells Harry Butkus that, look, I'm taking Alyssa with me or else I'll call CPS or something because he's making the children do labor for his company, yada, yada, yada. And then when Harry tries to say, no, we adopted her, Diane tells him, I would love nothing more than to kill you. You've got a child on your hip at the moment and you're threatening murder. Maybe I should take Alyssa. So Alyssa and Diane are trying to make it to the church in time for the wedding. They end up hijacking a horse and a carriage, ride through the city to get to the church. And then we cut to Roger and Clarice at the altar. Now the priest is saying yada yada yada, to love and to hold, do you take blah blah blah? If so, say I do. Maladaptive daydreaming about someone he met 36 hours ago. And then he tells Clarice, I can't. I'm in love with someone else. I don't really think so, Roger. You've been hanging out with her for an accumulative like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? You're not in love with her. You need therapy. Roger is the real antagonist in this movie, I truly believe, because I can't stand that man. So he says to Clarice, I can't, I'm in love with someone else. And I'm looking around like, wait, who? Because it can't be Diane. Oh wait, it is Diane. All right, I'm done questioning you, Roger. I'm done. And I honestly just think that maybe he just needs like a few years, not working, not looking for women, just him and his daughter, maybe bonding. I don't know, maybe establishing a relationship. That doesn't happen, obviously. So Diane and Roger end up together and they are one big happy family with a set of identical strangers as children. That's fun. So final opinions. I'm so sorry, but Mary-Kate was such a great child actor. Like, she understood comedic timing and the correct inflection and tone to match like the emotion or the joke or whatever she was trying to portray. And Ashley was cute. She was cute. She was cutesy. She was fun. Final thoughts, Roger deserves a therapist and Diane deserves a solo vacation to Turks and Cakes. Thank you. Mwah. Roger's